This video is the Chapter 4 overview on inserting elements in slides. We'll start with the basic inserting and formatting text boxes. On the Insert tab, in the text group, you can click on the text box button and draw a text box in any shape you want to. Then you can type text in the box. And you can type as much, it will expand as you type. You can type as much as you want or as little as you want in the box. You can select the box and you can use shape styles more and choose a style to apply to the box. It applies the text, color, the outline, and the fill color. You can also turn on the shape or format shapes task pane by clicking on here, and you can make all sorts of changes there if you want to. You can also select and align objects. In the Home tab, in the Editing group, you can click the Select button and you can select all, or you can select objects, or you can do Control A and select all. I'm going to select by drawing around them. That should have selected those two. I didn't quite get around. You can also use Control and select each object. Then if you go to the Drawing Tools Format tab, the Arrange group, you can align these, and I'm going to align them at the bottom. Now they're all on top of each other. If that's not what I wanted to do, then I'm going to move them. I can distribute them horizontally so it moves the yellow one over. Setting tabs in the text box. First I'm going to type some text in here. To set tabs, you have to have your rulers on, which they are. I'm going to first set a left tab at 3.5. Notice when I do that, it moves a line left, the word left, all the way to the left. Then I'm going to set this one by clicking on the alignment button. I'm going to change it to a right alignment and set that one at 3.5. And notice it aligns it at the right. It's further over to the right because it starts typing with the T and moving it to the left. Left aligned and right aligned at 3.5. You can see the difference between the two. So inside a text box, you can set tabs using your ruler guide and your alignment tab. You can insert, draw, and copy shapes. To insert a shape, go to the Insert tab, Shapes, and you'll see all sorts of shapes that you can choose from, including the text box. Just going to choose a heart. You can also do this from the Insert tab, Illustration group, and the Shapes button. I just showed you all the different types of drawings that you can do. You can copy a selected shape by clicking Copy in the Clipboard group and then clicking Paste. You can also copy by holding the Control key down and dragging the shape to a new place. And don't forget that you can also change the styles that the shapes have by going to your shape styles on the Drawing Tools Format tab. There are times, many times, that you do want horizontal and vertical rulers on, especially as we just learned when you are setting a tab. And so to do horizontal and vertical rulers, to turn them on, you go to the View tab. In the Show group, ruler is already on. Notice it goes away if I click it off. Grid lines and guides. So now all of them are on. Notice I take the guides off, and that's the purple dotted lines. And when I turn the grid lines off, then they go away. I usually leave the rulers on. You can group selected objects. First, of course, you have to select them. And once you have selected them, you can then go to your Drawing Tools format and go to the Arrange group and click Group. Then when you move them, you can then move them together. So you want to be sure you have them aligned first before you do that. And once you have them aligned and know where you want them, then it makes it much easier to move them. You can also ungroup them if you change your mind and decide that you do not want to group them. Just click Ungroup. You can size, crop, and move in images by selecting the image, Picture Tools format, and in the size crop, you can size it by typing in the amount that you want, and it automatically keeps the proportion. You can also crop selected images by choosing Crop. Notice that the lines around the image turn to black, and so you can crop out the part that you don't want to show. You can move them to new locations, of course, by dragging them. You can duplicate them by holding the Control key down and dragging them to another location. You can also nudge them if you just want them a little space and you don't want to move them very far by holding the Control key down and using your cursor key. You can layer objects by going to selecting the objects, and then going to the Drawing Tools Format tab, the Arrange group, Bring Forward and Send Backwards buttons. I want to send that one backwards, so it's underneath the picture. But you can also bring it forward if you change your mind. You can insert an image. You can insert images from your pictures that you have saved or from online pictures. From Office, from Bing, from a number of places. And of course, here's a good example of when we might want to resize. Obviously, we want that smaller, or you can resize it by hovering from the bottom corner and going towards the top left. That will keep the proportion. You can insert a picture as a background using options at the Format Background task pane or the Design tab, Customize Group, Format Background. I don't have any, but that's how you would do it. Okay, you can size objects and insert screenshots. Click on the object and using the Format Shape task pane, you can change a lot of the different options there. The colors, the different options, as well as the size, position, and text box. You can also insert screenshots. I'm going to make this one a little bit larger. It did not keep it in proportion. Make it a square. You can insert screenshots by going to the Insert tab, Images Group, and Screenshot. There are my available windows that I'm using right now, and that inserts the screenshot, and then I can resize it. You can use word art. You can distort or modify text to conform to a variety of shapes. Insert text or insert tab in the text group. On the word art button, you can choose any, and later you can change these if you decide to change them. In the drawing tools, the Format Drawing Tools, Word Art Styles, here's where you can change to any different kind of style that you may want, or you can also just change the text fill, the colors, the text effects. You can also do that in the Format Text Effects text box here. And there are some changes that we can make. We can also fill the entire box as well. Insert symbols. To insert symbols, display the dialog box by going to the Insert tab, the Symbols group, and the Symbols button. There are a lot of different symbols to choose from. I'm just going to use the copyright. You cannot see that it's inserted. If you hit it more than once, it will insert it more than once. And there it has inserted the symbol. And finally, you can also add headers and footers to your presentation. Many companies do have a master slide that you'll learn about later that they include a header and footer so it is consistent across the company's presentations. So in the Insert tab, Text group, Slide Numbers, Number button, click Header and Footer, and you can choose date and time to put on your presentation. You can include slide number. If you want to put something in a footer, you can do that as well. And you can not show it on the first slide if you want to. You can apply it to one slide or to all of the slides. End of this presentation. This, remember, was a very brief overview. At this time, you should listen to the audio from the publisher that gives a more detailed approach to the chapter content. End of video.